Okay, I want you to think about your most draining day in the city. You know the one. Back-to-back meetings, your phone is just buzzing nonstop, and the pressure is on to perform at 110%. As a cognitive performance coach for people in that exact world, I'm talking traders, surgeons, founders, I see the same thing over and over. Their energy is finite, but the demands aren't. So what I'm sharing with you today, it isn't another hustle harder mantra. No, this is the silent internal architecture they use to thrive. This is their hidden playbook. So let's start with an idea that honestly cuts against every motivational post you've ever scrolled past. The scariest, most effective level of self-control is silent. It isn't flashy, it's not loud, and it has almost nothing to do with feeling motivated. In fact, the very first thing we have to do is dismantle the one thing you've been told is the key to all your success.
Let's be real for a second. That alarm goes off for your 6 a.m. workout before a crazy long day of meetings. What's the first question that pops into your head? Is it something like, do I feel like it? Well, your answer to that one little question reveals everything. It tells me if you're a slave to your feelings, just riding that motivation roller coaster up and down, or if you're actually ready to build an engine that runs no matter what.
So before we can build the solution, we have to really diagnose the problem. And the problem is this flawed strategy that so many people use. Chasing the hype. You know what I'm talking about. You get this huge burst of inspiration, you grind like crazy for a week, and then you crash. It's this cycle of temporary highs followed by total burnout, and it leaves you right back where you started. This slide really just lays out the whole game. Look at that left column. That's amateur discipline. It's all about relying on hype, needing to feel it, and yeah, often posting about the grind for everyone to see. Now, look to the right. This is the elite playbook. It runs on autopilot, it operates without feelings, and it moves in total silence. One is for show, the other is for results. So the very first play from the elite playbook is learning how to operate on autopilot. This is all about building an internal engine that just runs, whether you're feeling on top of the world or completely drained after a 12-hour day. It's about making your actions completely independent of your emotional state. The goal we're shooting for here actually has a name. It's a psychological state called automaticity. You see, your brain is wired to chase that dopamine hit, that jolt of inspiration you get from a new idea. But in a high-pressure career, you just can't rely on that. The elite have trained their brains to execute the important tasks without ever needing that chemical rush. The work becomes a reflex, not an emotional choice. And this right here, this is the end state. This is what we're aiming for. You get rid of that noisy, energy-draining internal debate, and you replace it with clean, automatic action. Just think of the sheer cognitive energy you'd save if tackling your most important task was no longer a question, but simply your default setting. That's the goal, and that's when performance becomes truly elite. All right, let's move on to the second play and see how this all builds on itself. This one is all about winning the battle against the 1,000 little distractions that are designed to derail your focus every single day. The notifications, the emails, that constant urge to just check the news for a minute. Let's face it, our entire world is engineered to give you that quick hit of pleasure. But top performers, they cultivate the exact opposite skill. They consistently choose that long-term progress over some short-term comfort. And this isn't about, depriving yourself forever. It's about strategic patience. And this simple phrase right here, this is the command you give your brain. A non-urgent email pops up, the urge to check the market news hits you. The internal response isn't some stressful fight. It's a calm, firm deferral. Not now, later. You're not just managing a to-do list anymore. You are actively commanding your own focus. Okay, let's talk about the single biggest drain on your mental resources, that internal debate. For any high-performing professional, your cognitive bandwidth is your most precious asset. It's currency. And every minute you spend arguing with yourself about whether to do something is a minute you're not spending doing it. The elite use this incredibly powerful psychological tool to just bypass this debate entirely. It's called an implementation intention. So you're not just saying, I'll work out this week. No, you're saying, on Tuesday at 6 p.m., I will go to the gym and I will complete my scheduled leg day. You see? It's specific, it's pre-decided, and it becomes non-negotiable. So just look at the difference in the process here. The old way wastes all this precious energy debating should I. The elite way channels that exact same energy into just executing a decision that was made weeks ago. So when that calendar alert goes off, there is no debate. There's no room for excuses. The decision is already locked in. All that's left is to execute. And that brings us to our final play. And honestly, this one is probably the most counterintuitive, especially in our hyper-connected world. It's all about leveraging the strategic power of moving in complete silence.
So here's the neuroscience behind this. When you announce a big goal, I'm launching a new venture, or I'm aiming for that promotion, your brain gives you a little hit of dopamine. It gives you the social satisfaction of having achieved it before you've even done the hard work. This premature reward can actually kill the drive you need to get across the finish line.
Look, moving in silence isn't about being secretive. It's a performance strategy. You protect your motivational drive from just leaking out. You let the quiet, daily actions build their own unstoppable momentum. And then, when you finally do reach the summit, it will look absolutely effortless to everyone else because they never saw the thousands of silent steps that got you there.
So let's tie this all together. All the apps, all the calendars, all the to-do lists, they're just external tools. The real shift, the one that creates sustainable high performance, it's internal. This is about rewiring your own operating system. When you no longer need a reason or a mood or a feeling to get moving, you join a very, very small percentage of people. You've unlocked a level of operational power and reliability that the other 99% who are still waiting for motivation to strike, they'll simply never understand. So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. Is your discipline for show, or is it your identity? Is it something you perform for an audience, or is it just who you are when absolutely no one is watching? Because the answer to that question, that's what's going to define your entire professional trajectory.